The Education of a Young Lion by Ivan Krylov. Once upon a time the lion, king of all the animals, became the father of a son. As the young lion prince grew older, the king began to ask himself which of the animals he could trust to teach his son how to become a good and wise king. Should he hand him over to the fox? No, for although the fox was clever, he was a great liar, and liars are always getting into trouble. Should he entrust him to the mole? No, for although the mole was a careful and orderly animal, it could only see things under its very nose. It never looked far ahead. Should he choose the panther? No, for although the panther was strong and brave and a great fighter, it knew nothing about law and politics, and the king must learn to be a just judge and wise statesman, as well as a good soldier. In short, not a single animal, not even the wise old elephant, knew enough to satisfy the lion. Now it happened that another monarch, the eagle, king of the birds, who was an old friend of the lion, learned of his difficulty and wished to do him a great kindness, offered to undertake the education of the young prince himself. The old lion was delighted, for what could be better than to find a king for a prince's teacher? So the lion's son was gotten ready and sent off to the eagle's court to learn how to be a king. After 2 or 3 years had passed, the lion king, who had grown quite old, sent for his son to come home and relieve him of the cares of state. Having decided to turn the kingdom over to the young lion, he summoned all the animals together, and in the presence of this assembly, he asked his son to tell them what he had been taught, and if he was made king, what he intended to do to make his people happy. "Father," said the lion prince, "I have learned many things which no one else of these animals here knows. I can tell that every bird, from the eagle to the quail, can most readily find water, what kind of food each bird needs, and how many eggs it lays. I can tell the wants of every bird that flies without forgetting a single one. If you put me in charge of a kingdom, I shall begin at once to teach the animals how to build nests." At this the beasts all howled aloud, and the old king perceived too late that the young lion had not been taught the knowledge which a king needs most of all, the knowledge of the wants of his own people and the interests of his own country.